Morning, my dear ninth standard children. I welcome you all to Social Science online class. Today we are going to see History 5th lesson, the classical world. This lesson, we are going to learn the classical civilization of Greece, Athenian democracy under the age of Pericles, understand how small town emerged as a republic and later became an empire, and the contribution of Rome to the world civilization. When America, Australia, and Africa remained outside the mainstream of the world history, civilization blossomed in scattered areas of landmass of Europe and Asia known as Eurasia. So America, Australia, Africa remain outside of the world. Some areas civilization were started, that is landmass known as Europe and Asia, that is Eurasia. In golden period, Europe and Asia together known as Eurasia. When the classical era was at its height, a chain of empires from Rome to Persia, Peshawar began to emerge. Classical era means period. It was in high glory. A chain of empires, Rome to Persia, were started. The expansion of major civilization eliminated the geographical gap and paved the way for the inter-regional trade contact and cultural exchange. Eliminated means remove. So the expansion of this major civilization paved the way for inter-regional trade contacts. They had a trade contacts and cultural exchange also. This led to the transmission of changing their ideas, technology, and art. Classical world comprises ancient Greece and Rome. Comprises means include. So it include ancient Greece and Rome. Classical age refers to the interlocking civilization of ancient Greece and ancient Rome known as Greco-Roman world. So this ancient Greece and ancient Rome together known as Greco-Rome world. Greece, the Hellenic world. Until 8th century BCE, Greece was not different from the rest of the world. Okay, people were illiterate and craft work they know was a primitive and life was difficult only. With the expansion of Sparta, agriculture was limited by the mountainous terrain, the mountain areas. However, the Greeks succeeded in founding colonies along the coast that helped them earn revenue through the trade. Only they got that revenues. As a result, by the 6th century BCE, Greece turned into a network of city-state. It changed into a city-state. Archopolis, a fortified city of ancient Greece on a hill in Athens. Where it is? It is in Archopolis. Where it is? It is in hill in Athens. An illustrative example, a great example of their advancement. Though the city-states fought each other, they were bound together by trade, by a common alphabet, similar religious practices and festivals. These cities always fight each other, but they tie up, bound together by trade activities and common alphabet like religious practices and festivals. When it is celebrating, they join themselves. The illustrious, a great example for the last one was the Olympic festival on sports and games. Where started the Olympic game? You know, it is Greece. Greeks' victory over Persians. King Darius 550 to 486, who was heading a great empire in Persia, decided to conquer the Greek city-state. King Darius liked to conquer Greek city-state. The first Persian attack on Greece failed. This was due to the fact that Persian army suffered from diseases and lack of food during its march. When they go to the march, when they were in the war, they were suffered from somebody's in diseases and food also, lack of food also. Planning the second attack, the Persians avoided the land route and came by the sea. Second time, they started their attack from the sea. The Greeks or Hellenes fought patriotically and defeated the Persian army at Marathon in 490. Xerxes, King Darius' successor, next he came, conducted another expedition, but disheartened Xerxes returned to Persia without achieving his end. So it was failed. Athenian democracy. In Athens, the pressure from below resulted in the replacement of both oligarchy and tyranny by democracy. Oligarchy means government by a powerful person. Tyranny means a cruel government. This both government were replaced by a democracy. And the law-making power in Athens was vested, handed over in an assembly open to all freemen, judges and lower officials. How they select now, chosen by a lords. This arrangement was resented by the upper class who considered democracy to be the rule of mob. The Persian danger had united the Greeks. Unsafe danger means they united Greeks. When this danger was removed, they started quarreling again. Again they started to quarrel. The history of many Greek city-state was one of the continual struggles by the rich landowners against democracy. So the rich landowners only against the democracy. The only exception was Athens. That country only exception where democracy survived for about 200 years. The word democracy literally means rule of the people, people ruling. India is also best example for this. In reality, it excluded, who are all excluded, slaves, women and non-residents known as metics, that means traders and craftsmen. Pericles, 461 to 429 BCE. Athens had a great leader, Pericles, who had a power for 30 years. He ruled 30 years. During his rule, Athens and Sparta were continuously at war with each other, and this war is known as Peloponnesian War. Athens, despite hostility and disturb from the Sparta, became a noble city, magnificent, with a magnificent building, and they were a great artist and great thinkers. So historians, they called this period Age of Pericles. Beginnings of Hellenistic civilization. The Greek city-states did not have an elaborate bureaucracy. Bureaucracy means a system of government by a number of officials with several departments under their control. Okay, so therefore able to show a greater dynamism, that is powerful. Under Alexander the Great, the Greeks were able to establish a kingdom in Macedonia. In Macedonia, Alexander established his kingdom. This kingdom succeeded in annexing two historic empires, that is main two historic empires. They annexed the Egypt and the Middle East. But the entire period of Alexander's region was spent on wars only. Alexander spent his life fully war. Cultural development took place rapidly after Alexander's death 324 BCE. Is called Hellenistic civilization. Once again, Hellenistic civilization means that is cultural development that took place rapidly after the Alexander death only. The Greek school of science, mathematics and philosophy reached its peak in the Greek Egyptian city of Alexandria. In Alexandria, the philosophy, science, mathematics were reached its glory. Euclid. Who formulated the basic theorem of geometry? Who formulated the basic theorem of geometry? Na? Euclid. Then Eratosthenes, who accurately calculated the diameter of the earth. Then Hippocrates, the founder of trigonometry. Who was the founder of trigonometry? Hippocrates. Were all product of this age only. Then Ptolemy built on Hippocrates' ideas and later developed a model of motion of the planets and stars also. Rome, the Hellenistic world. Rome Republic. In the beginning, Rome was a society of agriculturists organized through lineages. So agriculturist people, they lived more. Out of this developed a hereditary ruling classes. Roman people were divided into classes, patricians, rich landlords, and plebeians, a common citizen. So how they divided themselves now? Roman people, that is patricians, rich landlords, and plebeians, a common citizen. Rome was strategically located in the crisscrossing trade routes cutting north-south and east-west in Middle East. So, taxes on who's crossing there, passing that side, taxes on passing traders added the revenue derived from the agriculture. Clash were between patricians and plebeians. Who were patricians and plebeians? Already I told. That is, Roman people were divided in two classes. Patricians means rich landlords and plebeians means common citizen. So the big landlords bought slaves cheaply and used them to cultivate their estate. They used the slaves to ask them to work in their estate. The slave population grew up by the 1st century BCE. Therefore, 2 million slaves. Slave labor led to the impoverishment of free labor. Many more peasants, those who worked there, already lived there, so had abandoned their children, who also ended up in their slave market. Their children also they started to sold in the slave market. The conflict between plebeians and the patricians became bloodier. They both involved in the war. Tiberius Gracchus and Gaius Gracchus, though patricians, they were big landlords, but they voiced their opinion in favor of the poor peasants. They gave their voice to the poor peasants. The senators, the big landlords, shocked by this development and murdered both of them. They asked them to kill that person. The martyrdom of the Gracchus brothers played a decisive role, an important role in the transformation of the Roman Republic into the Roman Empire. These both brothers were very important in the transformation, that is Roman Republic to Roman Empire. Punic was under the emergence of Imperial Roman Empire. The Carthaginians were the descendants of Phoenicians who excelled in seafaring and trade. Seafaring na kadarpayanam. Rome and Carthage united to drive out the Greeks. They both joined and drive out the Greeks. Thereafter, Carthage took Sicily, took that country and threatened the very extents of the Rome state. It threatening the Rome state also. The three wars fought between them are called Punic Wars. Between them, both of them, 3 wars happened. It was known as Punic Wars. Carthage sent a general named Hannibal. He defeated the Roman army and made a great part of Italy a desert. Fabricius, who led to the Romans, did not give up, but they didn't give. In the Second Punic War, Fabricius confronted Hannibal and defeated him in the Battle of Zama. In the Second War, Hannibal was defeated in the Battle of Zama. Pursued by the Roman army, Hannibal ended his life by poisoning himself. After the defeat and destruction of the Carthage in this war, Rome emerged as an unrivaled power in the Western world. It changed Rome in the very powerful nation in the Western world. Establishment of Principate. The period starting from Augustus 27 BCE is known as Principate. Augustus called himself Imperator, that means equivalent to the English world emperor. He liked, that is monarchy under king rule. Society under Principate. During the period of Principate, the imperial ruling class became far more prosperous than under the Republic. The period witnessed a great influx of luxury goods such as silk, spices, and gems from the east. From the east side, luxurious goods they got it. Cities were built grand scale with temples, theatres, stadia, and colosseum, gymnasia, gymnastic, aqueduct, artificial canals, baths, and markets. Here, the Roman Empire map I gave, you see, that is Western Roman Empire and Eastern Roman Empire. In that, some important places you check: Constantinople, Carthage, Italy, Rome, Paris, London, Athens. External invasions and decline of Roman Empire. The empire facing threats from barbarian incursions. Barbarian means primitive people. Depended on expansive missionary armies. In AD 330, the center of the empire moved from Italy to Greek-speaking city of Byzantium. The people, Italy, moved from to the Greek-speaking city of Byzantium. But it was difficult only to rule the western part from such a distance. Roman army led by Odovacar revolted and deposed him. Odovacar revolted him. This marked the end of the Western Roman Empire also. Empire building in East Asia, East China. Fall of Qin dynasty. Wang Cheng, popularly known as Xiangxi, meaning the first emperor. Xiangxi meaning the first emperor, ended the age of warring state in China. He brought to end. He crushed all local rulers and established a strong central government. He crushed all the local rulers and he established a strong central government. However, uprising, but sometimes uprised of the peasantry people, they gave a voice. Uprised, unlike in other cultural also, they not liked that other culture, occurred again and again in China. Such uprising led to the collapse of Qin dynasty. The trade route from China to Asia Minor and India, known as the Silk Road or Silk Route. So, what is Silk Road or Silk Route means? The trade route from China to Asia Minor and India is known as the Silk Road or Silk Route, and it linked China with West. It is linked with China with West. Goods and ideas between the two great civilizations of Rome and China. What they exchanged? goods and ideas between the two great civilizations of Rome and China were exchanged through this route. Silk went westward and wools, gold and silver went east side. China received Buddhism from India via this Silk Road only. Han Dynasty and expansion of Chinese territories. Han Dynasty 206 BCE and 220 founded by Liu Pang. Who founded the Han Dynasty? Liu Pang. Flourished for 400 years. Their capital was Chang'an. The most popular and powerful ruler was Wu Qi. Who was the most popular and powerful ruler here? Wu Qi. His generals succeeded in driving away the Huns in the north, their main duty. The Han Empire once again threw open the Silk Road for trade. A large export trade, mainly in silk, reached as far as the Roman Empire. Buddhism came to China from India during the region of Han Dynasty. In the Han Dynasty period only, Buddhism came to China from India. Here I give Silk Route map that is connecting China and Rome. China and India, that is Calcutta and Muscat, Arabia, Alexandria, Constantinople, Rome. These places you see. Rise of Christianity. After a brief period of glory in the days of David and Solomon, the Jewish people had a great fall and experienced extreme hardship. After the period of David and Solomon, the Jewish people's life was very difficult and they experienced it is very hardship. They hoped that Messiah would arrive to restore their pristine glory. Messiah means Savior. So, he would restore the pristine ancient glory. Again, he will bring, they thought. Initially, they laid much hopes on Jesus. Jesus was against the rich and hypocrites. They not liked this, condemned the certain observances and ceremonials, that is in a great level, they celebrating the function, everything. He disliked that. This was not to the liking of the priest who turned against Jesus. The people who were rich people, the priest not liked Jesus and they turned against Jesus and handed him over to Roman governor, and they looked upon as a political rebel. He started to the political rebel that they thought, and he was crucified. After Jesus' crucifixion, Saint Paul started spreading the Christian doctrine. Paul succeeded in his effort and Christianity gradually spread. So, Saint Paul, after Jesus, Saint Paul started to spread the Christian doctrines. In his effort and Christianity gradually spread, Romans were prepared to tolerate Christianity. One of the Roman emperors, Constantine, himself became a Christian, and Christianity thus became the official religion of the empire. Who changed the official religion of empire means Constantine. Byzantium. The Byzantine emperors who ruled from the city of Constantinople for about 1000 years. So this Byzantine emperor ruled 1000 years and called themselves Romans. How they called themselves? Romans. But Their language was Greek. The splendor of Constantinople, with its luxurious royal palaces, its libraries, its scholars familiar with writings of Greeks and Romans, and its fascinating Saint Sophia Cathedral are the legacies they have left behind. The splendor means glory. How we can know about the glory of Constantinople means that is the luxurious royal palaces, its libraries, and the scholars, learned persons, writings of Greeks, and Saint Sophia Cathedral Church also. Saint Sophia Cathedral. The Saint Sophia Cathedral was built in mid 6th century. When it was built, mid 6th century AD or CE, Common Era. The most magnificent building in Europe at the time. It was the most famous building at this time. It was known for its innovative new architectural techniques. This cathedral was turned into a mosque by the Ottoman Turks when they captured Constantinople. When they captured the Constantinople, they changed Saint Sophia Cathedral Church to a mosque. The Tartarian Empire finally fell to the Ottoman Turks in 1453. Tartarian means unsteady. The unsteady government finally captured by Ottoman Turks in 1453. India during the classical period. The Kushan period corresponded with last days of the Roman Republic. When Julius Caesar was alive, the Kushan Empire is said to have sent an embassy means ambassador, to their country. Augustus Caesar, who succeeded Julius. Succeeded means next king. In that Kanishka was very famous. They had good relation with Greek. In arts also, they mixed the Greek art. It was known as Indo-Greek art. The corresponding period 4th and 5th AD, I mean CE, Common Era, in South India characterized as Kalapara period. In 4th and 5th Common Era, how it was known as na Kalapara period, teak wood, pepper, pearls, ivory, then brocades, that means a silk fabric with patterns of gold and silver threads, and precious stones and the like were exported from the Malabar coast to Babylonia, where they sent means these countries, Babylonia, Egypt, Greece and Rome. Trade with Rome further flourish. Extern also. 18 major works of Sangam age wise 8 anthologies, that means collection of books, Ettu Togai, and 10 idyls, that means narrative books, Pattu Paatu, that means Ettu Togai and Pattu Paatu, compiled, that is produced during the first 3 centuries of Common Era, were composed during this period only. Sangam literature hailed as first secular literature of India. Sangam literature only, the first secular literature of India. Okay children, I will wind up the class by saying from this lesson we learn the glory of ancient Greek and Rome. Thank you children.